You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Y&R fans. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I've got your weekly early spoilers, and these are for November 27th through December 1st next week. When we come back from Thanksgiving, there is a lot of new stuff to share with you. Just real quick, there's one more new Y&R episode left this week. That is on Wednesday, the 22nd, and I'm going to tell you real quick some of the info from that because it's going to inform the spoilers for next week. Tucker and Audra, I had joked before about them having burgers and room service. They are having burgers, but they're downstairs at the GCAC eating together, and Ashley Abbott shows up towards the end of their meal. Audra takes off, and Ashley's basically offering still to try and smooth things out between Devon and Tucker. She had talked to Jack about bringing them over for Thanksgiving dinner at the house, and he was like, nope, don't want him here. So instead, she's going to try to work something else out. The Michael Baldwin and Gloria Fisher Abbott Baldwell, I can't remember all the names she has at this point. They are back in town. Gloria is completely exhausted. She falls asleep on the sofa at Society while they are talking, and everybody wants to know what is going on. Abby has set up a little impromptu Thanksgiving meal for them there, and they're complaining. Gloria's complaining about there not having any servers and not a proper meal at home. But you get what you get, and you don't pitch a fit, except Gloria always pitches a fit. It turns out she has been in and out of prison in Singapore for the past 6 months, and Michael was trying to get her out of jail. She was sleeping with some diplomat. His wife caught them. It sounds like she ran off with some expensive clothing from the diplomat's wife. And basically, Michael showed up and argued it was a case of mistaken identity, but it really wasn't. The Newmans are on their way to Oregon on Wednesday, and Lily and Devon take a step forward with Nate Hastings. Remember, they made a deal with Mamie. If she would tell them what Tucker's agenda was, then they would hire Nate back at CW. And Mamie comes clean and says Tucker's whole goal is to get rid of Jill from Chancellor-Winters, and they were saying maybe that's not a good idea, but Mamie thinks it is because she also wants Jill out. So it wasn't some big surprising thing. It was something we all already knew. So I don't know why they're making such a big deal out of it. And Billy and Chelsea are enjoying Thanksgiving with the Abbotts, but then she also has to take off to see her son Connor and her mom Anita. So that's kind of the bulk of what is happening on Wednesday. Thursday, on Thanksgiving Day, it is a rerun, and this is usually I don't watch reruns. I don't watch these encore episodes, but this one you guys should definitely watch because it's way back from 1993. And it's an episode about Eve Howard. She was obsessed with Victor. She was the mother of Cole Howard, who has just come back, and we're going to have more of him next week. At one point, she really hated Nikki, and she loved Victor, but then she had tried to kill him at one point. And for a while, they thought that Victor might be Cole's dad, but he's not. And then Cole was married to Victoria, and they had a baby that died. And I don't know, it's looking more and more like that's who Claire is at this point. So this episode is a good lesson in history. But whenever there's a rerun, it tends to screw up DVRs. So you may want to go in and change your DVR to record new and repeat episodes so that you don't let it screw up Mondays. Or if you're done watching it and feel like you're good, go ahead and delete it. And that way it won't screw up your DVR. So then Friday, November 24th, it is preempted. And that is for sports coverage. So enjoy shopping, enjoy eating leftovers, and then come back around on November 27th because there is a brand new episode on Monday. So we're going to talk the early spoilers I have for next week. I don't have dates for them yet. I'll have more information in the regular weekly spoilers video, but for right now, I'll share these with you, even though I don't have dates for them. So Nikki Newman is at the House of Horrors in Oregon, and she wakes up, and there is Jordan, no last name. I do wonder if her name is Jordan Howard. I had thought when they first talked about bringing her back that maybe she was Eve Howard back from the dead. Now, they might be doing that except for a couple of things. Colleen Zenk said in an interview that it was an all-new character they invented for her. But, so, Y&R lies to us in promos and in spoilers, trying to surprise us. Sometimes it's fantasies and daydreams. So there's a slim chance, I think, that she might be Cole's mom back from the dead. But if you remember back in the day, she was definitely dead because at one point Victor exhumed her body to get a DNA sample so that he could test her and himself and Cole's DNA to see if he was in fact Cole's dad. And it turns out he was not. So we'll wake. But anyway, Nikki wakes up, sees Jordan there, and says, "You did this to me." And Jordan's like, "You did it to yourself." So of course Jordan didn't do this alone. Claire is helping her. Initially I thought Cole might be part of it, but it looks like Cole has been lured there as well under false pretenses. So I'm very interested in this plot, and I know this sounds mean to say, but I hope it's not stupid, because a lot of times they start something that seems intriguing and then it's just like, oh, well, that's kind of dumb, or that wasn't well thought out. So I really, really, really hope that this has been well thought out and it's going to be compelling. I like history. I like when they bring things back as long as they respect the past history and don't do a complete rewrite, a retcon to justify things. So we have Aunt Jordan next week sharing a big reveal about exactly why they are targeting Nikki and exactly why they are targeting the rest of the Newmans. This will be part of a conversation between Claire and Jordan where, as they talk, we find out a lot more about what they're doing. And they do confirm that, yes, they're targeting not only Nikki, but Victor and Victoria and Nick. And also next week, the 3 other Newmans are at the house, and Victor is furious, and he tells Jordan that he's through playing games with her, and Jordan assures them it is no game. It looks like they have done a very bad thing to all the other Newmans, and this is like life and death stuff. And the good news is, you don't want people's lives to be at risk. They're characters, they're not real people, but we feel about them like they're real people. And I hope with all of them at risk that Adam gets a chance to save them, and then I want all the Newmans to shut up and never say something bad about him ever again for the foreseeable future. Next week, in non-House of Horrors psycho news, Nate Hastings gets his job back at Chancellor-Winters. I don't like this. I don't trust him. I don't think they should trust him, but they've been browbeaten by Mamie, so we'll see how that goes. And another spoiler for next week says that Sharon Newman may be feeling some kind of way about Summer Newman's interest in Chance, and that whole thing is weird. I just really hope it doesn't turn into a love triangle, because it would be super weird, because Sharon used to be married to Summer's dad. That right there just tells you that the age thing is just really weird for me. It's not that she's not beautiful. It's not that older women don't get with younger men. That happens. I have friends that have married men, 10, 15 years younger than them, and that's great. But in this situation, because she used to be married to Summer's dad, that's Summer's ex-stepmother. It's weird. It's weird to me. Let me know in the comments if you guys think it's weird for you. But there's some more about that happening next week. I'm excited to see it. Hey, if you haven't, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our updates. Definitely let me know what you're looking forward to seeing next week. Drop your comments below. I read them all. I love it when you guys interact and comment here. And be sure and come back for a full roster of weekly spoilers later this week. We'll have 2-week spoilers, casting news, a whole bunch more stuff. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys are getting ready to have a big, happy Thanksgiving, and we will still be here talking soaps even on Thanksgiving, so be sure and check back right here. This has been Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.